I want to keep track of how my clients paid for our services or our books. And in my new customer form here, I want to put a little options down below, not check boxes, because a client pays either by cash, company charge, credit card. I don't want check boxes where they can check all of them because it's usually one or the other. So adding Access's options field allows them to select one or the other, not all of them. Now, as a heads up, this form is based upon the new customer query. Let me click on that. And you can see in the design view I have the customer table and the billing info. And if I double click on the billing info table here, you see where it says payment option and it's got the numbers 1 through 4. Those are the values. I can actually take those values and assign them to my options when I add the option group to my form. So like value number 1 could be like credit card. Now, I don't have to use the values in here. I can actually assign a different value when I create my options, but since I already have them created and I've been keeping track of them within my database, well, why not just use payment options here? So I'll go ahead and right click and close out of that, and right click and close out of the query, and I'll go ahead and save that. Go to my design view here, and then to add the options, come up here on the design tab to the controls group and click on the options group button. It has a little XYZ there. Click on it, come down below. You see I got the little cross. Wherever I click, it's going to plant the options. I can do it right there. When I click on it, it starts a little options group wizard, and it says, what label do you want to give for each option? Well, let me type in the first label. We'll say it's cash. Hit the tab key, C.O.D, hit the tab key. And finally, when I finished adding all my labels, I can click Next. And then what option do I want to be defaulted when I create a new record? Well, most of the clients pay with, let's say, credit cards, so I'll have that as the default option. Click Next. And it says, what value do you want to assign to each option? Well, by default, it automatically added the values beginning with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, in my billing info table, I was already keeping track of them. I was assigning the payment options 1, 2, 3, and 4. So didn't that work out conveniently for me? Yes, it did. Otherwise, I can go ahead and change the values and assign them new values like 12, 13, 14, 15. But of course, what that means is that the current records that I have on file aren't going to be associated with this at all because I typed in different values than what I have in the billing info table. Go ahead and click Next. Now remember, in the billing info table, I had that payment field, right? So I want to be able to store the value that when you select an option and you select the option number 2, which is COD, it actually takes the number 2 and stores it within the billing info table. So I want to keep track of them. I want to be able to store that. And this is a lot faster by creating combo boxes or being able to add option groups down below, to just click on the drop down arrow or be able to click an option than to actually type it in. So that's why it's important for me to store the value, to keep track of those values, and it wants to be stored in the payment field. Click Next. What type of controls do you want in the options group? The regular radio option buttons or check boxes or toggle buttons. That's pretty cool. I'll go just with regular option buttons. And what style? Maybe something sunken or shadowed. Sunken. Click Next. And then let's give it a name here. And then hit Enter to finish it. Now let's take it for a test drive. I'm going to go ahead and click on the View button. Now by default, these options are assigned 1, 2, 3, and 4. As we looked in the billing info table, for each record that we have on these clients here, the customers, it has the values stored. So back to my form here, let me go ahead and go through each record and notice how it updates. Now it's value 1, which happens to be assigned to the cash payment method. Next is cash, cash, company charge. And then when I click on the New Record button and enter in a new record, let's do customer ID 3256. Type in the name of our company. First name, Don. Then by default, it's selecting credit card because that's the default option. But let's say that Don Do, or customer ID 3256, did it with COD. When I'm finished, if I don't have a fax number, just Shift Enter to save my work, and I'll know when it's saved because this changes from a pencil in writing mode to a little triangle. Now to see if it entered this, and it's supposed to be value 2, so I go back to my billing info. Now because I had it open, I need to click on the refresh button, and there it is, Don Do. At least we added the record here. We weren't able to add in the order date here. Remember, it's based upon the query here, which in this form it's not pulling all the fields. So back to here, we got Don Do, and there's the payment option number 2, which is COD. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.